Beneath the dim glow of Hongjuan village, a chilling crime unfolds, where blood and secrets intertwine in the shadows. Eqiang, a brilliant and beautiful young woman, is trapped in the vortex of a patriarchal family, accused of brutally murdering her own mother. Her father's damning testimony, DNA evidence, and haunting silence push her toward a dead end. But as the truth unravels through an unexpected video, the dark underbelly of family and village life comes to light, pulling listeners into a gripping journey for justice. Will Eqiang break free from prejudice and find her light? Tune in to uncover this riveting tale. I am a police officer at the Hongjuan Commune police station in Đông Anh District, Hanoi. In my career, only once have I allowed a culprit to walk away quietly without a sound. This job has led me through countless strange cases, from murders driven by unrequited love or deep-seated grudges to schemes for wealth and status. Some killed in a fit of rage, leaving blood-soaked crime scenes. Others meticulously planned their actions, moving with the cold precision of an emotionless machine. I thought that after years of dealing with all kinds of criminals, from brutal thugs to cold-blooded killers, I had seen every dark corner of human nature. But the case that unfolded on a sweltering summer afternoon in Hongjuan village that year still left my heart, hardened by years in the profession, aching and haunted. The victim was an elderly woman named E.C., her hair streaked with gray, her face etched with wrinkles that bore the marks of a life of hardship. In her 50s, Mrs. Ngc looked like a woman in her 70s, her frail body hunched under the weight of a grueling life. That day she wore a faded floral blouse, the kind of cheap garments sold at rural markets. Its repetitive patterns now stained with blood and brain matter, creating a horrifying scene that would make anyone shudder. The crime scene was a narrow stone-paved alley leading to the Hongjuan village temple. Based on the evidence at the scene, my team and I determined that Mrs. Ngc had fallen while stepping down a stone staircase. Her worn-out cloth sandals, thin as paper, offered no grip on the slippery stone surface. A piece of watermelon rind, likely discarded carelessly by village children, had caused her to slip and fall backward, her head striking the stone step. But this injury, though painful, wasn't enough to kill her. The forensic team's report sent chills down my spine. The true cause of death was someone grabbing Mrs. Ngic's head and smashing it against the stone step not once, but 14 times. The back of her skull was shattered, blood and brain, matter spilling across the cold stone, blending with the crimson glow of Hanoi's summer sunset to create a tragic, haunting image. The person who reported the crime was Mr. Min, Mrs. Ngic's husband. He came to the police station that evening, sobbing uncontrollably, his voice trembling as if it would break. Mr. Min recounted that their daughter, Eqiang, had come home that day to ask for money to buy a house in central Hanoi. He claimed he had no money, or rather, he didn't want to give her any. Mrs. Ngc had gone out to the alley to take out the trash and slipped. Eqiang rushed to help her mother, but for some reason, a heated argument broke out between them. In a fit of rage, Eqiang grabbed her mother's hair and brutally smashed her head against the stone step. Listening to Mr. Min's story, I couldn't help but feel skeptical. Could a daughter, no matter how strained her relationship with her mother, kill her so savagely over a mere argument? But Mr. Min insisted he had witnessed the entire incident with his own eyes. He said he tried to intervene but was too late. His age and a stroke 2 years prior had left him frail and slow, forcing him to watch helplessly as his heart shattered. In the office of the Hongjuan Commune police station, Mr. Min leaned on his cane, tears and snot streaming down his face as he wailed for his wife. But whenever he mentioned Haeung, his demeanor shifted to one of ferocity, his cloudy eyes glinting with malice, as if his daughter were not his own flesh and blood. He loudly demanded that we execute Eqiang immediately, his voice filled with venomous rage. The forensic team found handenene on Mrs. Ngic's body, which wasn't surprising since they were mother and daughter living under the same dilapidated roof in Hongjuan village. But with Mr. Min's testimony, the case seemed to point directly at Eqiang, making her the undeniable culprit. Following protocol, we arrested Eqiang and brought her to the station for questioning. Throughout the interrogation, Eqiang didn't utter a single word, her large, round eyes staring blankly into space, as if she were lost in a world no one could reach. Frustrated, I tried to coax her gently. Acheong, if you didn't do it, you need to speak up. We're the police. We'll ensure justice for you. Don't let your silence rob you of your chance. I must say, Acheong was a strikingly beautiful young woman. She inherited the best features of her parents: smooth, porcelain-like skin, large, luminous eyes, and a tall, slender figure like a willow tree. But what surprised me most was her aura. While Mr. Min and Mrs. Ngisi were clearly uneducated farmers, bound to the village's traditional ways, Acheong exuded an air of elegance, like a city girl with an air of intellect and refinement. She seemed out of place in that run-down house, steeped in backward prejudices, like a lotus rising from the mud. When I spoke those words, Acheong looked up at me, her lips trembling as if she wanted to say something, but she ultimately chose silence, her eyes lost in the stifling atmosphere of the interrogation room. I had no choice but to detain her at the Đông Anh District Detention Center, my heart heavy with unease. After years as a police officer, I trusted my instincts, and they told me Acheong wasn't the killer. But the evidence was stacked against her. The next day, Mr. Min hobbled back to the station on his cane, urging us to quickly convict and execute Acheong. He wept, lamenting the loss of his wife, but whenever he spoke of his daughter, his tone turned venomous, as if Acheong were his sworn enemy. A young colleague, Nam, couldn't stand Mr. Min's behavior and muttered, "The evidence isn't enough to convict, Mr. Min." To our surprise, despite his age and frail condition, Mr. Min's hearing was sharp. He shouted, his voice trembling with anger, "Not enough evidence? I saw it with my own eyes. My word is evidence. If you don't punish that girl, I'll take this to the district, to the province." Then Mr. Min caused a scene, rolling on the floor, crying out for Mrs. Ngisi and cursing Acheong with vile, obscene words. "Ungrateful child, shameless wretch, killing her own mother and still daring to live," he screamed, turning the station into chaos. I couldn't help but wonder, was this man truly Hun father? How could a father be so vicious toward his own daughter, with no trace of familial love? It took considerable effort to send Mr. Min home, reassuring him that the investigation was ongoing and couldn't be rushed. Shortly after, the district leadership called, their tone grave. They said the case had caused a stir throughout Đông Anh District and even spread across Hanoi. A daughter killing her mother in such a brutal manner was unacceptable in a Vietnamese society that values family bonds. Public opinion was in an uproar, demanding justice. The leadership ordered me to investigate thoroughly, verify the evidence, and resolve the case quickly to address the public. I learned that tabloid reporters had swarmed Hong Village, interviewing Mr. Min that very evening. Videos of him crying and recounting the story were posted online, spreading like wildfire across forums, Zalo groups, and Facebook. Public opinion was one-sided, condemning Acheong as inhumane and worse than a beast. Some left vicious comments. "A daughter who kills her mother deserves no mercy from heaven or earth." In this day and age, social media is a sharp blade, capable of destroying a person's life in an instant. "Brother Toon, are we going to convict her?" My young colleague asked quietly in a corner of the office, clutching his laptop. "Convict how, Nam?" I countered, my voice tinged with exhaustion. "Have you gotten a statement from Haejeong yet?" "The evidence is clear, brother," Nam replied confidently. "Witness, physical evidence, we have it all." Mr. Min said he saw it with his own eyes, and Hun DNA was on Mrs. Engik's body. Physical evidence? I gave a bitter smile and shook my head. Acheong and Mrs. Ngisi are mother and daughter, living in the same house. Finding Hun DNA in her mother is as common as eating rice. And the witness? I trailed off, not finishing my sentence. What could be more convincing than the testimony of the victim's own husband? Without new evidence, and with Hun's stubborn silence, she was likely to be convicted as the killer, even though my instincts screamed she was innocent. A sense of helplessness surged within me. I was facing a wall with no way through. As I was packing up to head home after a long, exhausting day, An elderly woman appeared at the station's gate. She was frail, her white hair tied neatly in a bun, her eyes sharp but filled with indignation. "Officer, I want to report a crime," she said.